Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hansen. Thanks for joining me today. I'm with Darren Burby, and we're at the Vergas State Bank. We know this place pretty well, huh, Darren?
We do. Good morning,
Thanks
Sherry.
for joining me today on the Vergas Show. Vergas State Bank, located right on Main Street, and what a lot of people maybe don't realize, too, is the insurance agency is located right in the bank. And so it's kind of where you can come in and take care of a lot of things at one time. Darren, I want to talk to you about construction loans.
Yep.
I mean, are we open for business in construction loans?
What is it, May?
It is May.
Yes, we're right in the thick of things, actually.
We are. Hey, the snow's
start
gone.
Seeing snow is gone.
Yes.
Yeah, there'll be some digging going on out there. You'll see the Franklin Fence trucks flowing out in the country.
That's a good thing, yes.
So yeah, there's some, right around the corner we'll start to see a lot of digging, lakes, rural, residential. A lot of people have planned throughout the winter for their new house in the spring. And I guess that's what I'd like to talk about is planning for construction.
That's huge.
Well, it's huge. You know, floor plans, you know, you think of where the bedroom's going to go and bathrooms up and down and square footage and things. But, you know, on my side of things, you have to plan for financially getting your loan in place and what you have to do.
Credit's huge in that, isn't it, Darren?
It seems like every day it becomes more and more important. Lenders are really judging you on a credit score, and right or wrong, I guess right or wrong, I say wrong sometimes because there are errors on credit reports and things like that, but it does tell you a lot about your history and how you handle making your payments and paying your bills and handling the amount of debt you have and things like that. But the reason I say credit is important in construction is you should find out what's on your credit well before you plan your house plans, because it will affect whether you can borrow money or not.
You should be checking your credit score, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you should, and you can annually, and I'll give you that website. It's www.annualcreditreport.com. That's a free annual credit report. You don't get your score, but you get to see exactly what's on it, and it gives you a chance to correct anything that's on there if there are errors. You can do that annually. Once a year to brush up on what's out there.
Is there any avenue for somebody if they've got bad credit? I mean, there's a lot of young people right now that you know are looking at wanting to maybe purchase a home or maybe have that dream. I mean, say that they have bad credit. Is their dream just gone?
It is temporarily.
Temporarily, but what can they do?
Correct what's on there. It's going to take time. If there's an $80 collection to Verizon, we see those small collections, maybe medical, maybe local companies that they didn't get paid for one reason or another. Get them paid. It'll show a zero balance, and it'll just take 6 to 12 months for that credit score to come back up.
I think what happens so often, it's the head in the sand type of a thing. It's like, okay, that I didn't pay that, and then you don't get billed for it anymore because it goes to collection. And then, you know, 5 years down the road, when you want to start doing something, it's still out there.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate when that happens.
Yeah, but it does happen.
Take time. It does happen, and it does take time.
Okay, and so, what do you advise people? You know, check that out, and then come in and talk to you before they're going to start building, right?
Yep, and I'll help them, and I'll explain. I know a lot about credit. I know a lot about credit reports and how to correct them, and what it takes, how much time it's going to take, and things like that.
And I like that what you say, you'll help them. So often I think, you know, especially for our 20-somethings, you know, there's that fear of like, oh my, you know, my credit isn't great. This guy's going to, you know, just totally shut the door on me and tell me to, you know, go down the street. That's not what you're here for.
No, I've seen it all, so nothing really surprises me. And it's a part of life. So
it is.
We deal with it. We move on. And try to improve it.
And if we can educate our young people on that, you know, we're going to have that much better financially stable people living within our community, and that's what we want. And we want to see that. We want to see them get into homes. We want to see them be able to get to that dream.
Right.
Yeah. And when they have that, they need insurance, right?
Well, when your house gets built, yeah, you need homeowners insurance. So Sherry is an agent here at the bank with
that's
multiple
a little bit,
options.
I can talk to you about too. Once you get, you know, before you start building your home, obviously, is when you want to start looking at what you're going to cost what it's going to cost as far as square footage and that. And you got a lot of materials out there, you got a lot of liability on your property there, and so you need to get into a policy. And then of course if you're going to get into an escrow situation or a mortgage situation, they're going to want to see that you're going to have insurance on it.
Yeah, we'll require throughout the construction a policy just in case a windstorm comes through and your walls are gone and next morning you won't see your new home.
Things like that, especially in Minnesota, it can happen.
The other thing you got to think about is flood insurance too.
Definitely.
If you're in a flood zone.
In flood zones, some people think that, oh gosh, we don't live next to the Red River. We don't have to worry about being, flooding out. But a flood is anything as far as if you have a flood zone can be where you have two buildings that have high water next to them. It can be our lakes that are flooding. It can be underwater things, and a normal insurance policy does not cover flood issues. And so you have to look at a flood policy. And with mortgages, that you check out the flood zones
we
in
check,
there too.
yes,
Yeah,
to make sure you're not in a flood zone.
Okay, how about on, if somebody's going to be doing some home repairs? I know with insurance, Darren, as far as, we want to know if you're putting a new roof on. We want to know if you got those new windows in. We want to know if you're actually adding on square footage, because that's going to affect your insurance. Are we open to have some money for people that are doing some of the...
No, it doesn't have to be a new home, remodels, different things. Maybe it's a refinance situation to get you the money to do it. Maybe it's just a second mortgage situation where you need 20 grand to put an addition on or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a matter of coming in and talking to you to get that done. When we're talking insurance, Darren, we're talking about making sure that you've got that policy. Most of people, the young people, before they start building a home, have a auto policy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about discounts. It definitely makes sense to look into the same company if they are able to offer you the same company that you got your car insurance with. If they're able to offer you a home insurance policy, you get that multi-policy discount, and so that really makes a difference. Now I know that recently you just had a young driver.
Right.
Added onto your insurance policy.
Right.
Yeah. When you have someone that gets their permit, it used to be, they've got their permit, you don't need to worry about it, or, gee, I'm not going to add you onto mom and dad's policy because, until the company asks you for it. Well, here's a good scenario, and I know that you took your son in, sat him down at the desk, and said, okay, this is what your insurance premium is going to be. This is what we want to cover you as an insured, and you're named on our policy. Say you don't have your young person on your policy, and the insurance company never figures it out. 5 years down the road, decide to get married, and you're actually going to live on your own, so you're not on mom and dad's policy anymore. You are going to be out there as a driver who's never been insured, because they haven't been named on any
rate
policy.
Will be higher,
so the rate going into that is going to be so much higher.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to, just like we said, it's good education to come in and figure out what it is to get your credit rating good and be financially stable. It's really good to teach your young people what it is to be financially responsible in your insurance too. It just really
Getting
makes
back
a lot of sense.
credit ratings, insurance companies now rate you on credit as well, which is also a reason to make sure your credit is clean.
There is not an insurance company right now out there that does not. The very first thing that happens is your premium is based on your credit score. It's not credit rating, it's insurance credit scoring, but it's basically on the same thing. If you pay your bills on time, the statistics show that the people who pay their bills on time, who pay their premiums on time, have less claims. And those are the people that the insurance companies want to insure.
Yep.
So I think what we've gotten out of this is education. You can get that from Darren. You can come in and get that from me as far on the insurance part of it. You can get from Darren on the home loan part of it. But just knowing what you're dealing with, and it's part of life. Just facing
educate yourselves.
Educate yourself and have good credit rating.
Helps.
Yeah, it helps. And so you can stop in the Vergas State Bank. You can talk to Darren on the loan part of it. You can talk to Sherry on the insurance part of it, and you can just stop in and say hi. But you have a good day in Vergas. Thanks, Darren, for joining me.
Thank you.